Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, fine folks. This is Freedom Fighter, and today is Tuesday, August the 20th, 2024, and I am your host of Goldilocks Global Banking News, the world's number one source for the RVGCR facts on your daily podcast, where over 100 countries have now subscribed, tuning into Goldilocks every single day to get their RVGCR updates. Over 50 global technical agencies and financial agencies also subscribed and tuning in every single day. Folks, I had my conversation this morning with Goldilocks. Amazing articles that Goldilocks has shared with some amazing information that you all will be very, very proud and happy to hear. One is going to be on new guidelines that were implemented on August the 16th in regards to foreign currency exchanges. And then the second is going to be Iraq talking about utilizing Dinar for oil trade. That's right. Let's jump right into it. Part 48, Retail Foreign Exchange Transactions. Folks, do you know the difference between retail and commercial? So, for example, when you go shopping as an individual, as a person, you go to a retail shop to do your purchases. Whereas if you were a commercial entity or a commercial business, you would do commercial transactions. Let's say wholesale, for example, with another business as a commercial entity. But you and I, we're retail. We go to a local shop. When you go shop at Walmart, Target, local shop in your community, that's a retail transaction. So here we have recent changes have been made to the retail foreign exchange transactions section of the Federal Register. So this has to do with you and I. Retail foreign exchange transaction section of the Federal Register, there are changes. Title 12 of the Code of the Federal Regulations covers banks and banking, including retail foreign exchange transactions. Remember, this says covers from banks. Title 12 was last amended August the 9th, 2024, and Title 12 is up to date as of August the 16th, 2024. That's right, several days ago. The section that was changed dealt with Part 48 on the Federal Register. Well, what is Part 48? I'm glad you asked. Part 48, quote, this part establishes rules applicable to retail foreign exchange transactions engaged in by national banks and applies on or after the effective date. What's the effective date? August the 16th, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you may ask, well, what is it? Well, there are many changes that went into effect on August the 16th and recorded in the Federal Register. Folks, anytime there's new federal guidelines, rules, legislation that goes into effect, it is recorded. Think of an archive. It's recorded in the Federal Register. So now a part of this new regulation on August the 16th is foreign currency exchange monthly statements that the bank must send to you when you make foreign currency transactions. So, for example, every month you get a monthly statement from your bank showing your beginning balance and ending balance, whatever that period is. Also, the transactions, your deposits, your withdrawals, your debits, so forth and so on. Yeah, I know many of you are, you know, in the dough, so you have those large amounts in your monthly statement. Or am I foreshadowing this is what we're going to see? Maybe a little bit of both. Some of you may not have those large amounts. That's okay. That's going to change. Because, folks, now banks are required. Notice I said banks. Now banks are required to send us monthly statements specific to foreign currency exchange transactions. So think of it as a foreign currency exchange monthly statement showing a beginning and an ending balance. This has not been before in our banking industry. This is new as of August the 16th, specific to foreign currency exchange transactions. There are also new guidelines in place for banks to have a certain capital requirement specific to foreign currency exchange transactions. Folks, the link is going to be in the description where you can see this for yourself. But just know, as of now, as of August 16th, when it comes to foreign retail, foreign exchange transactions, it's now in the Federal Register where banks, national banks are required to send us monthly statements on our foreign currency exchange transactions. Now we're going to get into Iraq. The government advisor discusses feasibility of using dinar instead of dollar for oil sales. Folks, this particular advisor out of Iraq, his name is Mohammed Saleh. The Prime Minister of Iraq has several financial advisors. This particular financial advisor, when he speaks, I listen. I pay attention to all of them. But this particular one, I pay very close attention to. Why? Historically, when this particular advisor, Mohammed Saleh, when he says something, it comes to pass. When he speaks with volume. He's very astute, very sharp, and very conservative. He only speaks when something is happening or about to happen. So pay attention. Government advisor Mohammed Saleh gave us a list of things Iraq needs to do to convert the oil sector into the petrodollar. Goldilocks is very specific on this. These are the things that Iraq must do. Acquire significant foreign reserve or gold, global market acceptance, a robust financial infrastructure in their own country and abroad. This is speaking of Iraq, folks. A law of one price, which means the same price around the world through reducing trade barriers. Broader economic conditions such as other assets within one's country providing potential growth. And also effective currency management. These are specific requirements laid out by Mohammed Saleh, one of the financial advisors to the Prime Minister, on converting Iraq's oil trade from US dollar to dinar. So replacing the petrodollar with dinar. Ladies and gentlemen, anywhere in the world, historically for the last 50 some odd years, for all oil trade, it was done in the petrodollar. So for example, Iraq selling oil to Budapest, it had to be in US dollar, the transaction. Iraq selling oil to the United States had to be in US dollars, not dinar. Iraq selling oil to Jamaica, it had to be settled and transacted in US dollars, not dinar. Russia selling oil, their oil, to the Philippines had to be in US dollars. It didn't matter what country was selling oil, it was in the petrodollar, meaning petroleum. Now here we have The financial advisor to the prime minister, talking about they're doing a feasibility study to replace the last remaining stronghold on Iraq, the US dollar, replacing it with the dinar. Folks, as of January of this year, the US dollar was dropped and ditched in Iraq for all imports. So any goods or services coming into Iraq as of January, done in US, not in US dollar, but done in the Iraqi dinar. For local traders inside of Iraq doing business, merchants, dinar. The only remaining large ticket item is the US dollar for oil in Iraq. That's the only thing. Just think about it. Only the oil in Iraq is the last remaining stronghold by the US dollar. Here we have a feasibility study being discussed to replace the US dollar for oil and utilize the dinar for oil trade. Right now it's over. Iraq transacts almost 3 billion barrels a day. 3 billion at $70 per barrel, all in US dollar. Now the discussion is to replace that with the dinar. Goldilocks continues. Iraq already has a list of countries that have signed into free trade agreement partnerships, and many of the above on the list are already in process, meaning the list of acquiring significant oil foreign reserves for gold. Global market acceptance is on the list, almost complete. A robust financial infrastructure in their own country. A law of one, which means the same price around the world. Broader economic conditions, effective currency management. Iraq is already in process of these. Goldilocks says, I see two significant items on the list above that will need to be coordinated. The first on that list is global market acceptance. This would require the new digital banking system to accept the Iraqi dinar back onto their ledgers. This is the quantum financial system Goldilocks is referring to. The second item refers to the new digital asset-based trading system, and Iraq has already integrated themselves inside the new quantum financial system and awaiting activation. So here we have two last final items which will really take Iraq and the dinar to a global international acceptance. But here we have a feasibility study being done to determine if the Iraqi dinar can become the dinar, knocking out and actually putting a major blow, a final knockout blow to the petrodollar and replacing it with the dinar, where the dinar can become the new champion, the heavyweight champion around the world, replacing the petrodollar for the dinar to be crowned the king once again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is powerful information, and we hope that you understand and see it for what it is and what is the possibilities that do exist. We hope and pray that the remaining of your day is blissful and is also powerful as you grow, evolve, and actually elevate into a space of light, love, and unconditional love. Be well, be kind, be on purpose. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR, brought to you by Freedom Fighter.